Hi, Taurus, and welcome to your Saturn into Aquarius tarot reading. Saturn is moving into Aquarius on March 21st, 2020, and this is going to really shift and change energies for us. Saturn is our teacher, brings our life lessons, also has to do with karma and the rewards we receive after we have learned lessons, we've grown, and we've evolved. So, going through Capricorn, where Saturn has been a challenge for everybody. In some area of your life, you've really been working hard at something or going through a big challenge all the way back from around December 2017 when Saturn moved into Capricorn. And now all of that cycle, that all those lessons that came with Saturn moving into Capricorn are coming to a close, and you're moving into a new cycle of energy, new lessons as Saturn moves into Aquarius. So from around March 21st to around May 11th, as Saturn moves into Aquarius, you're going to start coming into a lot of different insights and clarity and understanding and ahas about what you've been going through. And then in May, Saturn is going to go retrograde, and then we'll slip back into Capricorn around July 1st, and will not go direct until the end of September, and then will not return back into Aquarius until December 17th, 2020. So from May all the way till about December is when you're going to get all of that return energy from all your learning, growing efforts. All of that is going to come back between May and December of 2020 from, the transit of Saturn through Capricorn. This will also mean you will be aligned with similar or same circumstances, but because you have grown, it's now you'll be making a different choice to create a different outcome. Okay. Also, second chances at things and the rewards from all your energy and effort. And then at the end of 2020, Saturn moves back into Aquarius, and then new lessons and a new cycle begins for you. So, Taurus, let's see which archangel is with you as you complete this Saturn Capricorn transit through 2020, and then helping to usher you in to these new energies of Saturn going into Aquarius. We have Archangel Raziel, and we have Devotion. So this whole transit, Taurus, has been a very spiritual experience for you, a lot of soul lesson. So when that's the case, when it's more of evolution, like all things are evolution of the soul, but some situations are more to evolve and mature emotions. Other situations are to expand our consciousness into new ideas and things like that. And for you guys, this Saturn moving through Capricorn, very spiritual. How do I explain this? Because it's just saying it's spiritual that it's like so generalized. We'll pull more cards, but okay, some of you may have been going through dark night of the soul as well as Saturn was moving through Capricorn, and if that's the case, a lot's going to change for you with this Aquarius transit and cycles. Also, because I'm picking up so much spiritual energy, lesson, and understanding, you've been doing a lot of karma balancing as Saturn's been going through Capricorn. And Capricorn is the 10th house, which is our reputation, our career, our achievements, the way we're growing ourselves. So this has been quite an intense transit for you guys. Doesn't mean it's been all bad, okay? You've just been working more on soul evolution specifically, and soul evolution, that's when we experience a lot of struggles and challenges, painful things, because it's forcing us to, transform into a new version, to rise to a different frequency than what we are, to, overcome what we feel is holding us back in that moment. So this has been very spiritual for you guys. Let's pull a card here and see which area of your life this has been playing out the most, or it's been most impacted. Oh yeah, Taurus, yes. With the 8th house coming out, you guys have been going through some really intense like highs and lows. Like when it's been going good, it's amazing, but then when it's bad, it's like everything is falling apart, okay? So you guys have been learning to become very resourceful and resilient. And Capricorn is a very hardy energy, and so in a sense, like you've been being built like I don't want to say like toughening up, but it's definitely like making you a stronger individual all the way around, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Like you've really been going through it. And with eighth house, it says this transformational area of your life is about shared resources and intense emotions. Okay, so there you go. Crazy intense situations that trigger these really heavy emotions within you, but it's like through those heavy emotions, that's what the soul is pushing through and overcoming. This is actually going much deeper than any of the other readings have, and more than I anticipated for you guys. So I'm kind of thrown off a little bit. I apologize for that, just the depth in which Spirit's trying to take me for you guys. Many of you, there could be like great loss, loss of home, loss of car, divorce. There could have been a very tragic passing of somebody in your family or somebody close to you. Okay, so it's these types of experiences that you guys have been going through are very intense emotionally, but it's facilitating this spiritual evolution that is almost incomprehensible to me. Okay, I like want to give each and every one of you a hug just feeling this, and just some of the things that you've encountered, like some things that are unspeakable. And it's those things that are really just dark and awful and bad, that pull us away from like our spiritual connection and our belief, because it's like, how could there be a God if this is happening in the world, or this is happening to me? And the only answers that I have for that is, our perspective from human form is much different than our perspective from like a spiritual essence. A lot of teachings across the board of spirituality is, do good, be kind to others, and don't take everything so seriously. And if you believe in reincarnation, and I do absolutely 1,000% believe in reincarnation, it explains so many different things, like how some people are born into these fantastic circumstances and other people are born into these really heavy circumstances, yet everybody's supposed to be a fresh brand new soul. Why would one soul get that preference over the other, right? It's not about all of that. So reincarnation to me explains often where we land in life, and landing in a heavy situation doesn't mean like that you're awful and you did all these bad things in your past lifetime. It's really about evolution of your soul. And again, for us, we are here, we are living this. This is all we know is our human life, really. And so we can't help but to take it seriously. And when things go bad or things happen that are horrible and wrong, it disconnects us, from our spirituality. And not everybody, but for those of you that have been in that struggle just because of everything that you've gone through, and you're like, angels, where are you at? Like, spirit, where are you at? Spirit guides, like, what's up? Where are you? In that situation, sometimes our souls want to go through, different experiences with very minimal guidance from our like angels, our spiritual team, like the higher realms, because of what is achieved at the soul level by walking through that fire, so to speak, in the physical form through these different experiences, relationships, challenges, all of those things. And that's really hard to understand, especially when you feel broken down by life. But that's the best I can offer you from like a spiritual perspective as to why we go through certain things we go through. I'm embodied just like you. I am very, tapped in to spirit, but, being in the human form, there are certain things that we'll never know. We can never know because it would interfere with our journey and the soul evolution and the process of all of that. So everything that you've been going through, there is such an evolution to your soul, and that's why it feels so spiritual to me. And what you've lost, what you have sacrificed, what has been taken from you, all of that energy will transform and return to you, and spirit wants you to know that. And as we get out of this Saturn Capricorn transit, Taurus, I just feel like life is going to get much easier for you. And so with 8th house, that could be any area of your life. It's typically where there's others involved, or there's really intense emotions involved. Okay, so let's pull a planet to see what other planetary influence is impacting this transit through Aquarius as Saturn moves into Aquarius out of Capricorn. Okay, so there you are becoming very empowered with this shifting of energy. And this says, Mars, your physical energy, drive, strength, and fighting spirit. So you are going to be restored, Taurus, where you feel you are broken down. Like I said, energy that you feel was taken from you. And I'm sorry, I tried to make it so that these cards don't glare, but it's hard with the lighting sometimes, so I do apologize. All right. This is where you reclaim your personal power, and your fighter's spirit is reignited from deep within, okay? And this is where what has stomped you down, you grow bigger, like beyond it, and you are able to walk over it. So this is so empowering for you guys. All through the Aquarius Saturn transit, I would pay attention to where Mars is at, which sign is Mars in, because that's where you're going to be receiving that personal empowerment, and it's going to move through every area of your life throughout this transit of 3 years. Okay, so it's like you're being put back together, Taurus. That is so beautiful after what I was picking up, right there. So let's pull a zodiac sign. And this is going to be another person of this zodiac sign that's significant, or this is talking about the zodiac energy specifically being important to you. So when the sun is in this sign, or the energy in general and what it means. Also when Mars is in this sign, since Mars came out. So let's see. All right, right there. Ooh, we've got Leo coming out, and you know what? Libra just wanted to jump out too, so we will take both of them. So we've got Leo and Libra, and it says the energy is flamboyant, dramatic, proud, and passionate. It focuses on the importance of self-belief. And then Libra, the energy is diplomatic and gracious. It seeks harmony and balance in relationships. So some of you, all of this change and this transition could involve a Leo or a Libra. Got the two L's going on right there, but Leo is more fire energy, and again, that's talking about the fighter spirit within you being reignited, and you reaching for what you deserve, what you want, and not letting anything hold you back. Like you're growing so big, all the evolution of your soul finally expanding into your conscious mind, which shifts your beliefs and how you do things and what you will tolerate and what you put up with. You're changing, Taurus, you're changing. And there's also a big emphasis around relationships in your life, okay? Through this transit as Saturn moves through Aquarius. And to me, this is a big improvement to your relationships. All right, let's pull some more cards, Taurus. Okay, so we have Mars and Scorpio, revenge. This is talking about the energy that you have been dealing with as Saturn was moving through Capricorn. And, you know, revenge is basically talking about what we've already picked up on, things that you feel were taken from you, unfair, unjust, cruel, all of that. You know, it invoked a lot of dark emotion in you at different times. And part of that, you know, dark emotion, you worked through that, you evolved through that. And, you know, everybody speaks about the light, but the dark is, you know, just as important as the light. It's our biggest teacher, really, you know, because when things are a challenge, struggle, setbacks, that's where you learn and you grow and you shift and you change. You know, sometimes it takes a big event in somebody's life for them to snap out of, you know, bad energy, bad behavior, bad patterns, right? And so with this coming through for you guys, you've really been challenged emotionally, pushed to your limits emotionally, and at times maybe you did snap just because of how intense I feel this energy. But now as Aquarius leaves Capricorn and moves in, as Saturn leaves Capricorn and moves into Aquarius, it's like there's a tempering of that energy, and it's shifting in a very positive way where you're reclaiming your personal power, and you're not going to be triggered or easily shaken as you have been in the past just because of what you've been going through. And there's a big emphasis around relationships, okay? Family, friend, romance, all of it, just because this came out. So a big struggle in one relationship or maybe a multitude over the past 3 years leading up to this point. And now, in the present, as you move through 2020, wrapping up the Saturn and Capricorn cycle, we have Venus in Libra, indecision. And so Libra popped out there. And that's Libra is the 7th house, which is around relationships. And so throughout 2020, as you know, Saturn completes its transit, you know, through the retrograde in Capricorn and then pops back into Aquarius, what's going on for you is you're really reassessing certain situations, certain relationships for sure, and you're realizing the imbalance, like where you're not honored, and it's like you've been pushed to your furthest point that you can be. And so because of that, now you're gonna shift and change. It's like very natural. And there may be some people, Taurus, that you're gonna cut out of your life or really speak your mind to, but since your energy is shifting, it's not like revenge and anger and let me attack you and tear you down. Okay, it's more about let me express myself to you and let you know there's no place for you in my life, like I can't be bothered anymore. Just really empowered, standing up for yourself in such a positive, healthy way. And it's, again, it's not like nasty and vengeful. It's more like, no more. I will tolerate no more of you. And you know, through this transit, there may have been times where you did have some really dark thoughts and you're like, you know, I'm going to get you back, and you thought of some different things, you know. And we've all been there, because when somebody really hurts you or screws you over or is just a jerk and they're a thorn in your side and there's like no getting away from it, you know, it's easy to slip into darker emotions because it's like you're overwhelmed, you're overstimulated, and your spiritual team coming in and saying, nope, you've done very well, Taurus, and you're shifting out of that. And your fighter spirit being reignited, and you being able to handle yourself and express yourself in very healthy ways around relationships with people especially. And what you are doing, you know, from the end of 2020 through the rest of this Saturn Aquarius transit is Jupiter in Virgo. So we have some patience coming through. However, Taurus, Jupiter is such a beautiful, lucky energy. And what this is telling me is you, the lessons that come with Saturn moving through Aquarius for you guys is enacting all that you've learned and all that you've gained through this Capricorn Saturn transit, like truly 100%. The patience, like dealing with really crappy people, and instead of being triggered and reacting, like you seeing it for what it is and distancing yourself or not getting involved in the first place, like just handling things in a much different fashion that is more effective, because we have that Virgo energy right there, and Virgo is very diligent and patient and is willing to put in the energy and the effort, because Virgo is aware of the reward of that diligence. And so with Jupiter being in Virgo, all of your hard work that you've been putting in through this Capricorn Saturn transit is going to unfold throughout the Saturn Aquarius transit. And this, again, the lesson attached to this is really you maintaining your personal power in a very positive, healthy way, and making different choices and handling people differently than you have in the past. And throughout 2020, as you know, Saturn goes retrograde and slips back into Capricorn, remember, you're going to be realigned with certain situations or people that are the exact same or very similar, and it's to give you the chance to make a new decision, to try something else, to create different outcomes for yourself before you finally move in to that Saturn Aquarius energy until March of 2023. All right, let's pull some cards and see what signs and synchronicities Spirit is using to communicate with you, Taurus, throughout this Saturn Aquarius transit. So we have timing within 3 months. So 3 months from the time that you watch this reading, there is something beautiful that's unfolding for you, a beautiful manifestation, a return of the energy. And remember, what was taken from you will always come back to you. It will just be transformed. It will be in a new form. And, you know, within the next 3 months, around the time that, you know, Saturn goes retrograde, boom, it all starts coming back to you. And now we have healing, and the sign is the elementals. So a lot of healing is going to be taking place for you over this transit, and it's because of the intensity of what you went through, and nature, you know, and everything connected to nature, Mother Earth, Gaia, all of it, connect into it, crystals, very healing for you. And you know, if you're somebody who is like yeah about it, that coming out, really look into it, especially Reiki, very healing and balancing for you. And lastly, we have plans will change and the feelings. So what this tells me, Taurus, is something that you really thought you wanted to do, you wanted to have, you wanted to be, and it's different for all of you. That's actually going to change. And it's not as if the universe is changing things up on you. You change your mind, you change your desire within as you're moving through this process. So a lot of things that you really wished didn't happen, you know, through the Capricorn Saturn transit from December 2017 up to present, you know, different things that you really wish didn't happen, or that you wish should have happened and they never came to pass. And you're expecting that. And when I'm talking to you about the reward and the return coming in 3 months, you're thinking about those things. But by that point, just because of the way life has gone for you and the way you're changing and your soul evolution expanding into your conscious mind, you are going to start changing what you want and what you were reaching for. And it's a feeling that, you know, stems forth from deep inside. So that's actually beautiful. It's like a reconnection to your soul, and reconnection to spirit, to your faith, to your belief in the universe. All right, let's pull some cards to look at, you know, the transition over these 3 years. So from March 2020 to March 2021, and then March 2021 to March 2022 in the second row, and then March 2022 to March 2023 in the third row. And sorry if my camera moves. My kitty is playing with her toy right here beside us. just enjoying herself. What a beautiful sign for you guys. All right, so we have the Nine of Staves, the Three of Cups, and the Seven of Staves. Sorry, it's like right down there. I'm like, do I need to grab the camera? But she got it. Her toy went right underneath it. Okay, so this is talking about your long journey, and you know the transit of Saturn is like about 3 years. So with that, the Nine of Staves, the transit through Capricorn as well as the transit through Sagittarius going back 6 years ago, that's when this all started, and there's a completion to this energy for you through the Saturn Aquarius transit, okay, with the Nine of Staves here. And it's been a long journey, and again, you've been through it big time, but what you are becoming from all of that, and as you see that blossom and unfold over the next 3 years, Taurus, you're going to feel as though like every step of your journey was absolutely worth it, 100%. All right. So 2021 to 2022, we have the Magician, a lot of magic coming in. And we have Justice, beautiful karma balance for you. And the Star, beautiful dreams, wishes coming to fruition. So, you know, 2020 is where you're wrapping up that Capricorn transit and healing, coming into understanding. And then 2021 to 2022 is beautiful. Like life really changes, karma balanced, magic returning. I mean, you've got 3 major arcana going on for that year of this transit, and they're all beautiful and good. So there you go. It's going to be amazing. Next, we have the Page of Staves, and this is for March 2022 through March 2023. The Nine of Swords and the Six of Swords. So through this last year of the Aquarius Saturn transit, you might find, Taurus, that you are starting to really overanalyze, overthink things about like, there's like this new beginning taking place, or some new energy entering your life, and you're very unsure about it, very worried about it. But Spirit's letting you know right now, 3 years in advance, all is well. Like it's gonna work out okay. And any trouble you experience in that year, like you're gonna overcome it and move into smoother waters. So, you know, and this will be nothing compared to what you've been through, you know, for however it unfolds for each of you. But, you know, as far as like a new energy, opening up to a new person, starting a new job, going down a new career path, whatever it is, don't worry about it. Like, embrace it, go with it, because it's going to lead you to some really wonderful places, okay? So let's pull you some advice. And we have lead. When in a position of leadership, make logical and courageous decisions. You may experience sorrow or frustration and feel overwhelmed. Still, you must do what you must do. Do what it takes, even in the face of disapproval. Results matter. Wow. So there's your spiritual team really encouraging you to embrace your personal empowerment. And you know, that's where you make different decisions. Maybe in the past, something you were emotionally connected to or involved with, you made choices based on that rather than logic. And now, because of the way your soul has evolved through those experiences throughout 2020, you're going to make choices on logic rather than emotion, which have very positive outcomes for you, Taurus. Okay, so let's pull a good luck, a good fortune for this Aquarius Saturn transit for you guys. And And we have sexuality. Existing relationships could find a new passion and heightened sexual attraction. Opportunities for marriage and good family life are strong, but if single, be aware of temptation that could lead to trouble. A child will also bring great joy. Wow, and we do have a page of staves here, which could be a child coming through 2022 to 2023, all right? So just keep that in perspective. But this being your fortune message is talking about the improvements to relationships, all relationships in your life, Taurus, because of everything that you have been going through. So, you know, as Aquarius, Saturn shifts into Aquarius and then, you know, does its retrograde back into Capricorn. It's shifting the energy for you. It's positive. And then at the end of the year, when Saturn, you know, goes back into Aquarius and starts a new cycle for you, it is so blessed. It is a lot easier energy. And, you know, your relationships are definitely improving. Okay. So those are your messages, Taurus. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.